What's up, guys? It's your boy August BTC back again with another video. Today I'm going to basically give you guys another update on the portfolio, how we're doing, but this video is going to be a little bit more educational. Basically, I want to explain why I'm trading Bitcoin options and why I chose Bitcoin. I'm sure a lot of people must have wondered, out of all the different ways of trading, there's Forex, there's so many different things that one could do, why Bitcoin in particular and why I'm trading Bitcoin options. So I'm just going to dive into this and explain. So, treat it as more of an educational video today. First and foremost, look at this nice price action of Bitcoin. As I've said multiple times, we're still in the bear market and we are under the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at $74,100. So if we reclaim this level and we break above it, this will be very nice. Currently, Bitcoin is undervalued and the most money is made in the bear market. So what is Bitcoin? Obviously, I don't want to dive too much into it. You guys can do your own research as to what Bitcoin is, but in short, it's basically the world's largest cryptocurrency. Okay, it has a fixed supply and it's scarce. And everything that is scarce, investors and mankind always are attracted to things that are scarce, like gold, silver. Although gold can be mined, it has a store of value attribute to it, and same thing with Bitcoin. Now, unlike traditional currencies, no central bank can control Bitcoin, right? It's decentralized, fully decentralized. So people use it as digital money, a store of value, and investment. And Bitcoin is extremely volatile. And with volatility comes opportunity. Right now, it's below the 200 moving average. It is in the bear market. The all-time high before was back in 2025, where it reached 125,000. And ever since it crashed from 125,000 all the way to where it is right now, 64,000. Well, the lowest actually was about 50 in this particular cycle, 57,000. So that's about a 55% move down, guys. This is extreme volatility. So if you cannot withstand this volatility, then you should not be trading Bitcoin and you should not be owning it as an asset. But with volatility comes opportunity, because if Bitcoin can go down like this, that means it can also go up the same way it went down. You understand? So that's basically why I'm trading it, because there's so much opportunity in it, and it's a great asset to trade. But I'm trading options because it is a contract. So options let traders express their views on price, whilst managing risk, in so many different ways. And you see the strategy that I'll show you. So I'm using Deribit. Deribit is one of the best exchanges out there. It's basically specializes in cryptocurrency derivatives, specifically focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? It's the largest out there, one of the best out there. It has the largest volume as well. So it offers Bitcoin options, Ethereum options. As you can see, these are options for Bitcoin. You can choose each date that you want. Currently, we're in the August cycle, so I have some positions in August that I'll get into. You can also go to Ethereum, right, and I have some positions that I'll also show you. So this is Deribit. You guys feel free to go to YouTube, ask Cloud, ChatGPT how to use Deribit, or just to get more information about it as well. So it's a very professional platform. So all my trades are here. These are all my positions currently here, which I'll get into. The reason why I used to dive into this platform and explain things from here, but the UI isn't so great. So I had to create my own dashboard, which I'll get into as well and show you guys. So this is a dashboard that I created. And currently, positions are doing really well. We are literally printing money right now, and I'll get into that. So back to Deribit, guys. So Deribit allows you, the reason why I also like it is because Deribit allows you to use portfolio margin, right? As you can see here, XPM. So portfolio margin basically looks at the risk of your entire portfolio as a whole. Okay, so it basically recognizes that different positions can offset each other, and as a result, it uses capital very efficiently. So with portfolio margin, you are able to trade massive sizes with very little collateral. Okay, but this obviously requires discipline and risk management, because with $1,000, remember, this journey of mine is how I can change or trade $1,000 through Bitcoin options to $10,000, right? That's crazy. That's a really difficult feat because when it comes to investing and trading, usually you would require a large amount of capital. You understand? If you go to traditional stock market trading, when it comes to stock options and things like that, you will need a lot of capital, to be able to trade. But with portfolio margin and crypto, right, the way that it utilizes margin is so beautiful, and it requires very little capital to be able to trade big positions if you know what you're doing. Today, we are up 4%. Woke up this morning and the market blessed me with 4%, and I absolutely did nothing. So that's about $125 day change compared to yesterday. In Rand at about 2000 Rand that we're up today, so it's looking decent. We are still on our goal. Again, our goal is to get to $10,000, get this account to $10,000. So currently the account is sitting at $2,800. That's about 45, well, let's say 46,000 Rand, which is not bad at all. Again, the challenge and the goal is to get this account to 10,000 Rand, which $10,000, which is about 164,000 Rand. We'll get there slowly but surely. What I like here is that, the account is forming higher highs and higher lows. You see, higher high and higher lows. That means the strategy is working. So let's go into the individual positions and explain why I chose these positions and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So first things first, like I've always mentioned, the most important thing is to look at the oxygen of the account. This is your maintenance margin. If this level hits 100%, your entire account gets liquidated and you lose your entire portfolio. That's why, guys, it's important to always trade what you can afford to lose. If I lose this tomorrow, obviously it wouldn't be nice, but I mean, this is something that I can still survive. I can still live my life. This is in my whole life savings. So maintenance margin is below 50%, so that's good. So currently the P&L of the account, this is all the profit and loss of all the positions that I have here. So we are up 17% on the P&L. That's about almost $500. Right, that's about 8,000 Rand in profit currently. Theta is basically the decay of the portfolio each and every day, right? If your theta is positive, that means you're receiving money into the account each and every day. So each and every day, I'm receiving $9.05, 50 cents into your account. So about 155 Rand each and every day that I'm receiving, regardless of what happens. That's why I like crypto options. When you sell options, right, or when your positions are set up in a way where you're selling more options, you gain theta. So ultimately the goal is to increase this theta to 10, 20, 30, 40, $100. If I can get $100 of theta each and every day, that would be, let me bring this calculator, $100. The exchange rate of South Africa Rand to dollars is I think 16. Let's just use 16. So basically, if I can get to $100 of theta, I can generate 1,600 Rand each and every day, right? If I multiply that by 30 days in a month, I can make 48,000 Rand in a month just by theta alone. But obviously, to generate $100, you would need a bigger account, a bigger position. That's why, I'm growing the account, right? So because I'm selling options, I receive premiums. And that's why I love selling options, because when you sell options, you get paid. This is how much money I was paid right down into the account when I sold these positions, $472, right? So far, I've captured only about 2% of it. I'll explain why. But this is how much money we stand to make, 7,000 Rand in the next 48 days. Because the positions that I have here expire in the next 48 days. So if everything stays the same like this for the next 48 days, we stand to make $7,000. Sorry, 7,000 Rand. Okay, so let's get into the portfolio. Let's get into the positions. This is a strategy that I'm running, guys, and I'm going to explain the strategy again. The strategy simply revolves around Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And remember, I've tried so many strategies, but I've structured the strategy in a way that regardless of where Bitcoin moves, I want to win. The goal is to win, right? And the goal is to lose as little money as possible. Those are the words of Warren Buffett. If you want to be a good investor, if you want to be wealthy, try and lose as little money as possible. Okay, so that means your downside needs to be protected. When it comes to an asset like Bitcoin, that's very volatile. It crashes more times than it goes up. especially in the bear market, right? It's going to crash down really badly, and that's how a lot of people lost money. I've lost money in the past when I was, still trying to get into it, you know. But now with that comes experience, and that's why I developed this particular strategy. So, what is a strategy? Number one, capital appreciation. So instead of buying Bitcoin on spot or just buying the asset and holding and hoping that it goes up, I can create a synthetic exposure to Bitcoin via perpetual contract. So perpetual contracts are contracts that never expires, right? There's no expiration dates unlike options. And because I'm using portfolio margin, I can control a massive position of Bitcoin with little capital. So currently the quantity that I have here is 0.14 Bitcoin, right? So if you take 0.14 and multiply it by the current value of one Bitcoin, that will give you the size. So 0.14 Bitcoin is, let's see here, but let's see, but the Bitcoin to USD. So I have 0.14 Bitcoin, right? So that means currently I have the size, the notional size that I have is about $9,000, right? That's the size that I'm trading here, $9,000. And if you're seeing us, I don't have $9,000 in the account. This is the total account equity, all the positions that I have open, right? Equates to this $2,800. So I don't have $9,000, but because of portfolio margin and through Deribit, I can control $9,000, right, worth of Bitcoin. That means that's the size that I control. So if Bitcoin goes up, it goes up substantially in my portfolio. As you can see, Bitcoin is up. I entered, my average price was 60,900. Bitcoin is just $4,000 up from there, and I've already made about 200% of my money. So I'm up here $476 dollars, which is about 7,700 rand. So this is capital appreciation. So if Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin continues to go up, I make some great money. So because we sit in the bear market, any pump that we see here could be a relief rally. So my guess is maybe we can go up like here before and get rejected. So maybe we go back up to the 200-day move average, which is $74,000. But I want to show you guys how much I'll make. So if Bitcoin goes back up to the to $74,000, how much am I going to make? So I have 0.14 Bitcoin, right? So my entry is 60,900, and let's say Bitcoin goes to 74,000. How much am I going to make? So all I do is I take, let's see, I take 74,000, right? Minus my entry, which is 60,900, right? So the difference between that is 13,000. And then I just multiplied by the size of Bitcoin that I have, which is 0.14, right? 0.14. And then this is how much I stand to make. So I'll be making about $1,800, right, on the position if Bitcoin goes just to 74,000. Now let's multiply that by, the exchange rate for the Rand. So I'll be making about 30,000 Rand on this move. So if Bitcoin goes back up to, let's see here, and Bitcoin can literally do this tomorrow. Bitcoin can literally go up 15% tomorrow. It's done it so many times. So many times. So if Bitcoin goes up to this level tomorrow or the next 2 or 3 days, I don't know, I can literally print 30,000 Rand into the account, right? Literally, just like that. So that's the beauty. So now this position participates in capital appreciation. Now, if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 or 200,000, I can make even much more money. So that is the goal. But obviously, this carries risk because if Bitcoin crashes to zero, I can lose all the money. Right. So what do I do? How do I protect my downside? That is why I have the protective put option, meaning I paid insurance, right? So I paid $95 to have this 55K short put, meaning, right, if Bitcoin goes down, this position gains value. This position is losing value now because Bitcoin is going up. So this position basically protects me on the downside. Okay. And now I still want to get paid if Bitcoin doesn't move. So I want to get paid in every direction. Bitcoin goes up, I get paid here. Bitcoin goes down, this position gains value and protects me from the downside. And then if Bitcoin stays sideways, these positions here, these short puts and short calls pays me, right? As you can see, I've received premium from all these four legs, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how much I've received, which gets added to this amount. So as you can see, this position's in profit. So yeah, so that's what happened. So if Bitcoin ranges between where it is right now and 69,000, that's the first level of resistance, I can collect this entire premium. So this is a strategy that I have. Basically, I want to print and win in every direction. Bitcoin goes up and when Bitcoin goes down, these short calls participate in winning as well, because with short calls, if Bitcoin dumps, then you start printing on the downside. But then with a short put, if Bitcoin pumps, then you start printing on the upside. As you can see, this position is more up than all these short calls here. So basically, this is a strategy, guys. So you need to know what you're doing. Okay, same thing with Ethereum here. So these positions will stay. They will continue to print money for me, right, up until the next bull market, and I'll show you guys fully live and transparent on the channel. So that's the video, guys. Again, Ethereum is just the same thing. So essentially, these are the positions, guys, in Rand. This is what we're looking at. We have about 7,000 Rand in profit here, 200, 150, 125, 125, 72 Rand here. Ethereum is not really printing that much for now, but it will be very soon. But yeah, so in total, we are up, close to 8,000 Rand, and we're printing, we're getting somewhere. And again, the goal is to get this account to $10,000, and we'll be there very, very soon, guys. So that's about it, guys. If you guys like the content, feel free to drop a like and follow. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer you guys. Share the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.